Hello everyone, welcome to your team news ahead of Gameweek 21. The returning Sam is back. Sam, it was Chris, stepped in for you last week. Don't know if you saw it.
Was it as good?
It was certainly different.
Did you miss me?
I did.
I love how political that was.
Chris was very good, very good.
He's always good.
Very different vibes. He's, Chris, very eccentric, very loud and outspoken. And yeah, no, it was good. It felt a bit more frantic, I think would be the word I'd describe, as most things are when you do them with Chris, whereas ours are much more chilled and laid back. So hi to everyone. Get your questions in for us ahead of Game Week 21. I mean, there's probably going to be a few, seeing that we've literally just had
Nothing's happened, right?
Nothing's happened apart from double Game Week 21 announcement, Lukaku doing the most mad interview I think I've ever seen. And COVID postponements and everything else as it normally is. Just before we get into that, and I'm sure there's going to be loads of questions for us, I just want to talk a bit about Fantasy5, who are partnered with Fantasy Scout this year. If you haven't ever played Fantasy5 before, you really should. Great game to play alongside FPL, completely free to play. You can win £10,000 every week. All you got to do is pick 5 players across 5 different fixtures, and if they beat their fantasy points target, you basically check that one off, and if you get all 5 right, you win 10 grand. I play every week. It's surprisingly hard to get right, but very satisfying when one of your players does actually achieve their target. There's other good prizes as well. So there's a seasonal prize of Champions League final tickets. You've got monthly prizes. So we've had a TV go. We've had an Apple Watch go. Weekly prizes of Premier League kits of choice. And there's a Fantasy Football Scout mini league. And all the description and links are in the description below. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. Right, I need to have a look at the chat. Anyway, how was your time off, Sam?
It was great. Yeah, it was great. We successfully made it to Lapland and back without any drama, which was nice. And then had a nice Christmas. How about yours? Was it good Christmas?
Yeah, very, very chilled out. Just went to see my parents down in Essex and spent a couple of days with them. And then back to the carnage and chaos of the Premier League. Right, we've got loads of people in the chat. Hi to everyone who's watching. 269 people watching. Yep, I'm not a Simpsons character anymore. Don't know if you saw all that. My camera broke for a couple of days, so I had to do a couple of streams just with a Simpsons avatar.
Part of me was wondering whether you dyed your hair and it's gone really badly wrong, and you just I can't show my face, so I'll do it behind an avatar for a few days.
Pretty much, yeah, that would be good. Or I'd just shave my eyebrows off or something.
Yeah.
It'd be a good idea actually if I did do that. I didn't think about that. It was literally 10 minutes before I went on a stream. I realised that the camera wasn't working. So yeah, we'll see. Right, let's have a look at some of the chats. Okay, well, not an easy one to start with, but a good question to start with. Straight off the bat from Craig. Hi there, please assist. Who do I bring in for Reece James? I have Diaz, Trent, Alonso, and Ben White. It's a big question for everyone, pretty much everyone. Everyone's got Reece James. I think he's the second, third most highest defender in the game. The obvious choice for me is Reguilon if you don't have him, but there are double game weeks now. Well, a double game week.
West Ham. I'd be targeting the West Ham defence now, I think.
Who'd you get?
Kufal, maybe?
Yeah.
Probably. Safest, I think.
The trouble is they're so bad defensively. West Ham. I've got Ben Johnson, right? I've already got Ben Johnson in place as a 4 million defender. I'm relatively happy with that. I think we've seen that Masuaku can't really play at left back. He can only play at left wing back. He's not good enough to play left back. So I think Ben Johnson is he's fit again at the right time. Quite happy holding on to him, but it's one of those ones where it's a double game. It feels like a little bit of a trap investing in such a poor defence at the moment.
Maybe, but the fixtures are nice beyond the doubles. So it's not like you're just investing for 21 and then you're giving yourself another problem. You are investing in a club that has got potential for good results for the foreseeable. Whereas I think yes, I totally agree with you about Reguilon. The only thing I'd say is that the Spurs fixtures are a little bit up and down. Obviously it's Watford this week, but then after that was it Arsenal and Chelsea, which they don't scream clean sheets to me.
No, you want a defender like that who's got real attacking threat, right? And Johnson definitely doesn't. Soufal did well, didn't he, last season?
Yeah.
Good assist potential. Lost his place to Johnson this year, but injuries have meant Johnson's had to switch over to the one, so I think he's probably going to play. He's definitely the pick of the bunch, Soufal, but I mean, okay. So what about Fabianski in goal? Do you think about him?
Yeah, so I think if you've got Ramsdale, or if, like me, I don't particularly want to sell Ramsdale, but I do have the money to upgrade my second keeper. So I do think Fabianski could be one that you potentially look at to have alongside him, because I'm not sure that you would always want to play a West Ham goalie, but for the double game week, looks quite good, and does give you the scope. Like I say, beyond, right, the fixtures are still quite nice when the Arsenal ones are still quite mixed, to have both.
Yeah, absolutely. So a few people mentioning Bowen, Ian Anthony, Bowen for captain. Nobody get Bowen. Purple HD, Bowen. Michelle asked if Bowen is due a rest. My transfer this week is going to be Bowen in 100%.
Yeah, mine too.
I was going to get Maddison, but obviously the game got pulled off. And I think Bowen is the easy choice, right? I mean, he's the midfielder I think we all kind of need this week going forward. Antonio's still out of form. Still not sure about the West Ham defence. Bowen is... Yeah, I'm going to captain him as well, I think. Would you go that far?
Yeah. Does the FA Cup being in the middle of this double game week worry you? Because I was just looking at West Ham playing Leeds in the FA Cup in the middle of these two games, thinking, that stresses me out.
I mean, the two good things about Bowen are, firstly, he's done it in the Championship. He's played a relentless schedule before. Yeah. Mark pointed that out in the video with Luke earlier in the week. So he's very capable of playing, multiple games in a week. Also, Ben Rama's off as well. So it's immediately one less option for that kind of spot and that space. And if anyone's going to be rested, really, it's going to be Antonio, I'd imagine. And Bowen can then play up top instead of him. So I don't know. It doesn't put me off at all.
It's the injury risk, isn't it? I think that's the thing. So normally in a double game week, you undoubtedly just go, yeah, that's where my captain's armband's going. 100%. It's on the double game week player. And it still will. Don't get me wrong. I'll still do that. But there is a little bit of me that goes, it'd just be such my luck if I captain Bowen goes off on Saturday with a knock and they can't play in the second part of it. It's like...
Neil said it on the team earlier. You want that that Norwich game first, don't you? You want Norwich
you
at home
do.
the first
You want to
game,
swap it over, yeah.
And then the Palace game is a bonus, not the more difficult game at the first. But I think Palace away is a fairly decent game anyway.
It is, yeah. I mean, would I captain him though? So if he just had Palace away, it would have been on my target in. Yes, anyway. But would he have been on my... I still think Son is a really good captaincy option this week. And that's where my head is with the captaincy. Is that I still look at Son against Watford after his 10-point haul earlier on in the season and 19 points in the 16-17 season and think you could haul in that one game. Yes, Bowen could haul against Norwich. Will he haul against Palace? I don't know. Palace is so up and down at the moment. Some games I watch them, I think they look all right. Then other games I watch them and I think they look awful. I still will captain a double game week player. And to me, of the 3 double game week teams, Bowen is the obvious captain.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Brentford, you've got Everton, and you've got
Everton.
West Ham. Damari Gray. We'll come on to some of the Everton, which is that. We just had a couple of super chats, which I'm going to get to now. So, yeah, thank you, everyone, for these. If you want us to definitely answer your question, send us a super chat and we'll answer them. We appreciate all the support. Jason Stilling, have Bowen and Antonio. So, going for Keane. There we go. Everton, straight in. For security. Would you describe Keane as security? I'm not sure about that. Already have Gray. So, already got Bowen, already got Antonio, already got Gray.
Already got 3.
And then getting Keane as well. I mean, in pretty nice...
Michael Keane
nice
does
shape.
not shout security to me.
No,
he shouts, might have a calamity. That's what he shouts to me.
Calamity Keane.
Doesn't it? Does he to you as well?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't trust him. Let me get the Everton defence up on my phone. I
think James being out. I think before it was so easy. It was Cancelo, Trent, James, Reguilon, plus one other cheap guy. That's the 4. You could stick a Diaz in there or a Laporte or something like that. But there was quite a lot of options. With James being out, it does feel like there is a spot to bring in someone a bit different. And I think Everton have got this double game now. They've got good fixtures on the horizon. Do I trust them defensively? No, not even slightly. But if I'm going to get one, I think it is probably Keane or Pickford.
Oh my life! What a choice!
I know.
What a choice!
Well, Dean's out, right? Dean, you can't go for Dean. He's probably off in January. Coleman is old, and is he going to play all these games? I'm not really sure. I mean, he's played 90 minutes in most games this season, but offers a little bit more attacking potential. But I think I'd back Keane. I think over Coleman. But
I don't know. I have a bit of a love affair with Coleman. I had him for a bit last season, and he did well for me. I mean, the thing is that their FA Cup fixture is Hull, so it's not like they necessarily need to put out a full strength team. You shouldn't have thought against Hull. So whereas West Ham against Leeds in the FA Cup, I would expect pretty much full strength from West Ham for that one. Hull could see some rest in that one. So if he wants Coleman in the league, you could see him playing Coleman against Brighton and against Leicester and giving him the whole game off in the middle. Like I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I agree with you though. I mean, it is real slim pickings. Like it's
the kind of game you want, Dean, right? Like last year, like I'd be all over that. I mean, he'd be a potential captain option.
You don't want to go Pickford either, do you really? Like Pickford, Keane and Coleman, like that feels like going for a double game week player for the sake of going for a double game week player.
I mean, the whole Everton team does, because I mean, Gray's done well. I think he's got 5 goals this season, 3 assists. It's a good return for a 5-5. But I mean, he's the standout, isn't he? I mean, what do you think about Calvert-Lewin?
Wow,
coming back. Did you see Neil said that Benitez had some interesting comments about him, because he kind of hinted that he said, "Oh, don't know if he's going to be ready," like blah blah blah. But then he said in the same interview he might score a first half hat trick, which implies that he's going to start, because he can't score a first half hat trick if he doesn't start. So, do you take from that he could?
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, yeah. It's hard, this one, isn't it? Because actually, you look at Everton and Calvert-Lewin is the obvious pick. He is the obvious one that sits there and you think, I would trust Calvert-Lewin. Like, I look at the Everton fixtures beyond the double game week and think, would I be happy to have Calvert-Lewin, just going to run the fixture tick on a little bit, for the foreseeable future? And it's like, so the double game week, Brighton and Leicester, Norwich, Villa, Newcastle, Leeds, Southampton. I'd be more than happy to own Calvert-Lewin across, what's that, up till game week 26? Like, more than happy to have invested in him. My one concern is this was a significant injury, and we've already seen how when he gets a significant injury and is rushed back or comes back too quickly and plays too many minutes, that he can get re-injured, and then that's a problem. So I do worry that he won't get the level of minutes that I want him to across this double game week, but I do think that he will start both games, probably just come off around the 60th minute. They need him so badly. Like, they need him more than anything else. And it's a week between the matches, because I don't think he will play against Hull.
And the thing is, he's had a bit of extra time, because I think he was in line for a start before the Newcastle game. So he's had an extra week in theory to work on things. So
I think he is a player that you could go with. The question is, would you go him over Antonio? Because they're both double game week players. So
yeah.
And arguably Antonio's, they're easier.
Yeah. Don't worry, Emre, I've not missed your super chat. I'm coming onto it right now. We were just, got a bit sidetracked on Jason's one. Emre Kappa, thank you for the super chat, asks, would you swap Watkins or Dennis for Antonio? If so, which one would you swap? That is a really interesting, because Watford and Dennis are good options in their own right, but then Antonio,
particularly now he's not going to AFCON.
No. Particularly, implying he was an all right option when he was going.
He was all right for Nigeria when he was going.
Probably still outscore most of the players in the game.
Probably, This is an interesting one for me, because so Watkins was going to be my transfer in this week. That was my plan, Lacazette to Watkins, until about an hour ago, when the double game weeks got announced. And it's like, well, okay, well, now I don't want to go for a player that's got a single game week. I'd rather invest in somebody that's got a double. So now it comes down to a straight choice between Calvert-Lewin and Antonio. I don't know if I'd be happy to sell Watkins, though. Like, he looks like he's about to go on a decent run. I certainly wouldn't be selling Dennis. Let's put it that way. So I guess you'd have to sell. I guess you'd have to sell Watkins on that basis, but I wouldn't be happy about it.
I agree. If Dennis isn't going, and it looks like he isn't, I think he's an easy hold.
Yeah, they've got nice fixtures coming up, and he's playing really
He's
well.
playing well, yeah.
Yeah.
Watkins to Antonio, I can see the appeal of doing that. It's Norwich at home. Look what Antonio did to Norwich at home 2 seasons ago, 4 goals. Yeah. I can't see any reason why he couldn't do that again. Norwich aren't
it would be reluctant, but I would say it would be a reluctant sell of Watkins, but it is something I would do.
The same. Luke C, thank you for the super chat. Similar as before, do you trust the Everton defence, or would you go nowhere near it? My gut feel is I wouldn't go anywhere near it.
Take a punt on a midfielder, I think, over a defender.
Yeah, I think like if I'm looking at defence, I'm looking at players like Reguilon, Cucurella, and Lamptey.
Oh, Cucurella, I love.
Yeah, I think you can have a bit of fun with someone like that. I think you've got Diaz, Laporte, you've got Trent, you've got players in defence who I just think are much better picks than the Everton guys, and they're not that cheap even. And then in midfield, I think Gray is okay at 5.5 if you've got a slot for that. If you've got Smith Rowe, for example, like I have, moving him on for Gray for the double game, it could be a shout. Or Calvert-Lewin. I think Calvert-Lewin is a decent punt this week if you've got someone that you can, with a single game that you want to upgrade. I just think the defence, like exactly like you said, it just screams like trying to get someone in for the sake of it. Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Yeah, no, I agree. Nahal Kukani, Martinelli, Jesus, Gallagher, and Reece. Oh God, for a -8 to Gray, Antonio, Son, and Soufal. So Martinelli out, which I don't like. But Jesus,
Gallagher...
Well, not Martinelli out.
But look at the fixtures. They're awful.
Yeah, but he's 5.2 and playing on the wing for an Arsenal side that's scored about 50 goals in the last 3 games.
But look at the players you could have instead. Multiple double game week players and Son who's got Watford.
Yeah, I know, but you basically... So Jesus, Gallagher and Reece to Antonio, Son and Soufal for a -4. No problem with that at all. 2 of those are injured and Jesus probably wouldn't play. So then it's another -4 for Martinelli to Gray. I wouldn't do that.
I would.
You would do that? You do Martinelli to Gray for a -4?
I would, because it's not... That would be something that I would see as more long-term, because like over the next few weeks at Arsenal, Man City and Spurs in the next couple, plus that blank in 25. So basically you're holding him for Burnley and Wolves. In comparison, Gray has got the double game week, Norwich, Villa, Newcastle, Leeds, Southampton. No blank.
Yeah, but it's Everton.
Yeah.
Need I say more?
The fixtures are nice enough that even Everton should be able to score goals, particularly with Calvert-Lewin back. So you put Calvert-Lewin like a proper attacker back in that team, and we should see improvement in Everton, is my thinking. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not like I must invest in the Everton midfield, but I can see the appeal of doing Damari Gray in. And with Arsenal having 2 tough fixtures for the next couple, plus that blank game week in 25, they're not attractive options right now. Like I've got 3 of them at the moment. 2 of them are going to leave this week for sure. But there's definitely an attraction to like Martinelli. I know he's done you well over the last few weeks. But Damari Gray, I think, could outscore him in that if you take it in the next from 21 to 26, I think Damari Gray will outscore Martinelli.
Okay, you say do it. I say no. I say hold on to Martinelli. I think selling a player in form for a team in form like Arsenal, for a player who is playing for I'm sorry to say, a pretty rubbish team at the moment, for a hit.
Don't let Chris hear you say that.
I think he knows better than anyone. I wouldn't do it. I'd keep myself. I know the fixtures aren't great, but I think Spurs, I think they can score in that. The derby, then there's Burnley at home. Come on. They beat you early in the season.
Oh, thanks for that reminder. Thanks. I'm going again.
That was when they were rubbish and you were doing all right again. Yeah, I wouldn't do it personally, but I don't think it's an awful move, but I wouldn't do it. Dal just played the free hits. Interesting. He's gone
for this week.
Yeah, for this week. So he's gone fully stocked up on double game options. Pickford, Janssen, Dawson, Cancelo, Bowen, Gray, Salah, Son, Kane, Antonio, Calvert-Lewin.
If I was free hitting this week, I don't think I'd have Salah in there. Would you?
I don't know. I probably would.
Would you?
I think I probably would, given what's happening with Chelsea at the moment.
Who's got up top again? Say the front three.
I mean, they haven't got any wing backs. With it's going to be Alonso and
That's true.
Azpilicueta, I guess.
Say them again.
Pickford, Janssen, Dawson, Cancelo.
Yeah.
Bowen, Gray, Salasson.
Yeah.
Kane, Antonio, DCL.
Kane, Antonio, DCL.
I think that's as good as it gets.
Kane, Antonio, DCL. I mean, there's not a lot better than that in the front three.
I mean, you take Salah out, you can get anyone else. There's no one better, I don't think, than him this week.
I think you're right.
De Bruyne against Arsenal, but played 90 minutes. You might see some rotation there. I'd stick with Salah. I like it. He also
there's not a lot to dislike about that. The one question I have would be Salah, but you're right in what you say about the Chelsea defence.
Yeah.
But that's the one question I would have, is that that's a tough game for Salah.
Like, Salah's a bit of a kind of safety net as well. Like, you've got in all these punts
for sure.
different players.
Yeah, for sure.
There's absolutely no way that team is going to get a red arrow. And I'll go on record as saying that, because you've got Son and Kane. The only one you really maybe missing is Reguilon, who I do like.
But I don't think we'll clean sheet this weekend. Honestly, I don't. I think Watford will score.
Cancelo is it has to be a massive doubt to play after everything that's happened to him. Yesterday, getting assaulted in his family home and all that.
Yeah, Lee and I had this conversation, but it's such a big game. If it was Man City versus Norwich.
It's a big game, but if his head's not right, it comes down to that, right?
The thing is, he's a professional footballer, right? He is the epitome of professionals, Cancelo, isn't he? He's one of those players that really strikes you as being somebody that is fully. He's fully on. So he will say, I'm ready, I'm not, my head's in it, my head's not. And I think it will be his call as to whether he plays or not in that game. It is as a Cancelo owner, I do look at that and think there's a chance you don't play.
On a free hit?
Would I have him?
I wouldn't have him on a free hit. If you want to go for a Man City defender, I'd probably go for Diaz.
Would you have a Man City defender on a free hit? Because I'm not sure I would.
I'd have Reguilon. I think Watford probably do score, but I've seen enough from Reguilon to make me think. Was Trent in that free hit team? No, there's no money. There's no money to get Trent.
Say the defenders again.
Pickford, Janssen, Dawson, Cancelo.
Dawson, Cancelo. Brentford.
I think the question is, do you go with Cancelo or do you go for Diaz or Laporte, or do you go down to a Cucurella, or do you keep faith in Cancelo? I wouldn't have Cancelo on a free hit this week.
We go Simicast.
Simicast is on his bench.
Yeah. I would just wait for some.
As exciting as it must be for people to watch you, Sam, spend 20 minutes deliberating whether Cancelo or Simicast.
I don't know what I would do about that, is my honest answer. I probably would play it safe and go with Diaz.
There you go. I would go for Reguilon. That'd be my pick. But otherwise, Dow is a very good free hit team.
It's hard, yeah. That's the hard spot.
Yeah. Jason Starling, security equals games being called off. Yeah, I suppose if you're going back on Everton, you're potentially getting another bite of the cherry if games are called off, because they're going to have two games. So if one gets called off, you've still got the other one. So there might be teams that end up with a single game week. Yeah, quite a good point.
Oh, yeah.
Delia M, my favourite baker, says Happy New Year, Az and Sam, and the whole
Happy New
team.
Year.
She says thanks for all. Thank you for the super chat, Delia.
Thank you for the biscuits.
Yeah, and for the biscuits. Is it worth giving Spurs another chance and taking a -4 for Son? I think so. I mean, I saw that Watford West Ham game. I can't see any way in which... I mean, I didn't think Salah was going to blank, and I was wrong about that, but I can't see any way Son blanks against Watford. Lee was saying they haven't got a right back at the moment, Watford, either. They're going to have to play Sissoko or Cathcart there.
Sissoko does know how to play against Spurs, let's be honest.
Well, that's true.
So we will know what with... Well,
although what about right back? You ever seen him play at right back?
No. No, I have not ever seen him play at right back. I think we'll win the game. I do think with Dennis and King around, they can score, but I do think we'll win the game. For me, investing in Spurs feels very sensible when you look at the attackers. The fixtures are yes, there's the 2 London derbies coming up with Arsenal and Chelsea, but Southampton and Wolves and Watford in there. Plus, obviously, multiple games that still need to be rescheduled. So it's always going to have, there's always going to be potential there for double ups at some stage, even though not in 21. I think Son is, if I didn't have him, he would be a top priority for me over the next few weeks, even without a double game week this week. I would want him in.
Yeah, I agree. And, people who are holding on to Salah are going to be, going to be moving him on probably next week if you haven't already. And that is a super chat we've had from Neelash actually, which is Son in for Salah. Would you do it this week?
This week? So part of me would be really tempted to do it this week, yes, because Spurs have a much nicer fixture than Liverpool do. But that missed penalty and that result for Liverpool in the middle of the week, he is surely going to want to go off to AFCON, not with that being the last thing that happened. Like I suspect he'll have a really good game against Chelsea. Against Chelsea. Yeah. Particularly with no defenders. I probably wouldn't. I don't think you can sell Salah now as much as you want Son. So I'd probably wait.
Probably. I think it depends as well who you're going to captain this week. Because
that's true. If you're going to captain Bowen, then
yeah, if you've got Bowen in place or Antonio and you're going to go ahead with that as captain, then Salah to Son I think isn't worth it. If you want to captain Son anyway, if you think that Watford game has bigger potential than double game weeks, then obviously I think it's probably worth it because you're going to want to do it anyway, I imagine. Unless you're looking at someone like Salah to Sterling or Salah to De Bruyne or someone like that going forward, and you're going to ignore Spurs altogether. Because the fixtures aren't amazing for Spurs after this. They've got Arsenal, Chelsea, Southampton, Wolves, Man City. It's a bit of a mixed bag.
The Arsenal game's normally quite high scoring. So there could be goals in that for Kane and Son. Chelsea, well, let's see where they are defensively. I mean, they're not going to have Reece James back, it doesn't seem. He's out for a couple of months. They're not going to have Chilwell back. So unless they sign somebody quite quickly in January, then they're still going to have some defensive woes. After that, Southampton and Wolves, fine. Then it's Man City in 20. So yeah, then they're not ideal, but equally we're talking about Son and Kane who are finding their form. This is why I wobble on the defenders a bit, because I don't know that their defenders are going to keep that many clean sheets in this period. But I think Son and Kane will score goals. Yeah,
I think getting one of Son or Kane is very sensible for this match. I mean, Son was locked on as my captain. The only thing that could have changed it was
a double,
a postponement or a double. Yeah, really. I think Son could easily match Bowen over the 2 games against Watford as well.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if Spurs just absolutely tore Watford apart and won that game 5-6-0.
I mean, it would be a lovely start to the new year. I'd enjoy that very much.
They're playing tomorrow, aren't they? Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd be sitting in my mother-in-law's living room. It would be a delight if, with my in-laws are all Tottenham fans as well. So if we all sit together and then there's like a 9-0, that would be absolutely wonderful.
1-0 Watford incoming. Just to ruin your...
ruin my day. Yeah, ruin my day.
Start as you mean to go on. Alejandro Perez says James to Soufal, Johnson or Emerson or Ronaldo to Calvert-Lewin. So now we're getting into crazy double game
going into
territory.
Madness now.
Or simply Martinelli to Gray. Already have Bowen and Antonio in place. Could do 2 of them for a -4. So James out. You need to take James out. That's just... He's out for 6 to 8 weeks minimum.
To Soufal, I would do. To Kufal, I would do that.
James to Kufal for you. Is it Kufal or Soufal? I never really know.
I don't know. I never know which one it is with him. I think it's
Souček, isn't it? But then it's maybe it's
Kufal.
Maybe it's Kufal. I
think it might be Kufal and Souček.
Yeah, and it's
Jota. But this is me. I pronounce everything wrong. So
hard J on Jota.
Jota, yeah.
Not Jota.
Not Jota. It's Jota.
Anyway, Reece James to Kufal. You like that? You like that one?
I would do that. Yeah. The only thing is that triples you up at West Ham. So just pray for.
I think like Emerson's in there. I don't know why you would get Emerson over Reguilon.
Budget.
Well, yeah, I suppose. But you're downgrading Reece James. You can have anyone.
I mean, I'd go Reguilon over Royale for sure.
Yeah, so would I. I would do James to Emerson. I wouldn't.
Then what was the other one? Was that?
I wouldn't get rid of Ronaldo for Calvert-Lewin. That seems like that just seems a mistake in the waiting. Martinelli to Gray. I mean, you like it again for a -4. I don't. We answered that earlier. I would just do James to Reguilon you would presumably do both.
I would do both.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice one. Dal, you didn't read my bench. And would you change it? Did I not read your bench? I did read your bench. Simicast and someone else.
Who else is on the bench?
Bench, Pinnock, Ramsey, and Simicast. Yeah, I didn't read it because you've gone a 4.5 mid, a 3.7 million defender, and a cheap, 4.5 defender. Like I said, I think your free hit Dow is as good as it gets. The only thing I'd change would be Cancelo. That would be the only thing I'd change, just because I'm not entirely sure he's going to play, and you might as well just get Diaz. I don't think there's going to be a huge amount in between them, but Diaz will play. Then you could just play Pinnock. I mean, Pinnock's got 2 games, but then you've got double Brentford defence. No, I like it. Your defence has to be like that to fund the rest of your team, presumably. So
I don't think there's anything wrong with that bench. The reality is you shouldn't need that bench.
No.
So.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it for the super chats. We're up to date. So that means I'm going to start picking some comments at random as we go. Nathan Joblin, hi Sam. Give
Nathan.
Ellie J a shout out, please.
Who am I giving a shout out to?
Ellie J.
Ellie J.
Ellie J.
L-E-J.
No. Oh wow, he's going to be well happy with that.
I asked Nathan about that afterwards. I don't know who Ellie. I probably should.
I got with someone. They did something similar, and then it was a rude name, and I read it out. Didn't realise, and then someone pointed it out after the stream. So I was a bit concerned.
I'll message you later, Nathan. I'll find out what that's about.
Emery Kappa says thank you, Az and Sam. Have a good New Year and a
Happy New Year.
That's nice.
You are bad.
This is always the worst bit. Is trying to find.
It's you trying to read. That's the worst bit.
Simon Outdoors. Which camera did you buy? No, it's not a new camera. It's
It's
basically
the cable.
it's not even the cable. I've got a fancy camera, and it can't just plug into the computer because that would be too easy. It's got to go in through this fancy little 4K adapter thing, and that had broken, so I had to get a new adapter. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Here we go. The Gang Nugan, Cucurella instead of Reguilon.
I really like Cucurella.
Now we're talking.
Who have Brighton got? Let's have a look at the Brighton.
Everton. We're playing Everton away.
Yeah, but I like to look a little bit, if we can, because obviously
Sam is.
this is going to be a transfer that you're going to keep.
Oh god, it's not going to fall to me to carry us over the line, is it? That's good.
Yeah, Reguilon could get a lot more attacking potential, couldn't he, in that period of time?
Are you back?
So I'm back. Did I go away?
Yeah, you went away. I heard about 10% of that.
I will just repeat very quickly what I just said.
Yeah.
So the fixtures for Brighton are quite nice, but there is obviously the blank game week in there. The fixtures for Spurs are more difficult, but there's no blank in there. So you're banking. So for me, if you're deciding between those two, it's the potential upside of attacking returns versus the potential for clean sheets, which would mean I would, in that combination, I'd spend a little bit more and go Reguilon.
Yeah.
But reluctantly, because I do really like Cucurella.
I like Cucurella. He looks like he's going to frustrate. I don't know how his attacking potential, how much attacking potential he's got. I think looking at the stats, I mean, Lamptey is...
I was going to say, wouldn't you just go Lamptey instead?
Far more penalty area touches for Lamptey. Much better XG, more shots, all that stuff.
And minutes are going to be better now. He's had plenty of time to recover and...
I like them both. I think Cucurella, just for the pure security of starts, he's gonna play every match. Lamptey might.
Would you go
miss a couple.
Reguilon? Would you go Lamptey over Reguilon?
No, I'd go Reguilon.
Yeah.
I really do think he's gonna hit a big call. I know the fixtures aren't amazing.
That'd be nice.
I watched that game against Southampton. I've said this a few times this week. I watched that game against.
He was
Southampton.
fantastic.
He was great, and I mean, he got booked, he got subbed and stuff, and it was a bit of a liability sometimes. But it's a liability in the same way that Alonso is a bit of a liability. Because he was getting the ball and just charging into the penalty area. That's what you want, right? It's exactly what you want from him.
Yeah.
Goldhead agrees with you. Reece James, best replacement is Kufal, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Mihir, Benny Puri, Matty Cash.
Oh, I like Matt Cash.
What do you think about Matt Cash?
Yeah, I do like Matt Cash. And the thing is, the other thing we should say here is that in all the double game week carnage, there's always single game week players that outscore them. And so sometimes actually targeting them is the right thing to do. I think Matt Cash looks fantastic in terms of attacking potential. Fixtures are nice. Obviously, they've got Brentford in the double, but then it's Manchester United after that, Everton, Leeds, Newcastle, Watford. They're right up there on the fixture ticker without a double game week in play. I really like him. And I think, with when Steven Gerrard's back in the dugout, it will have a good impact again. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like Cash as well. I think he's a good option. And we've seen the wing backs get forward so much. Alexander Choi says he has Target. Yeah, Target's a decent
I like
shot.
Target.
I think they're both good options. Looking at the stats, it does look like Cash comes in more centrally. I think he's going to be more involved around the penalty area, so I think he's more likely to get a goal than Target. So I think that the little bit of extra is probably worth it. Let's have a look. Talk about Brentford assets. Goldhead just says no to all Brentford assets. I think like the defence, probably you can get one, maybe like a Pinnock. It's a shame Rico Henry's out. He'd be a good option.
He would be a good option. I don't mind Tony though.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think about Tony?
No, I don't mind Tony at all for the double. Like, I don't think I would prioritise bringing him in over the likes of Calvert-Lewin or Antonio, but I certainly think he should be on the agenda for this week. And it's two relatively nice fixtures against Villa and Southampton. Southampton haven't been defensively solid of late, so definitely potential for him to score goals. And I actually thought that Brentford looked quite good in game week 20. Like, I didn't think that they looked out of their depth. So yeah, I mean, I don't think Tony's a bad option.
Yeah, just he can't score. It doesn't even look like he wants to score.
No, but no. I don't think I'd prioritise him as a transfer in, but I certainly would be selling him if I had him.
No, nor would I. I'd be going for Calvert-Lewin or Antonio over Tony for sure. A few Happy New Years. Lee Tesla, Happy New Year to you both. Thank you for all your content. You're more than welcome. Kenny McDowell, Happy New Year, Raz and Sam. Thank you very much. What was this one? I saw someone... Kringley27 wants to know my team this week. Don't know
Do you even know yet?
I know pretty much, yeah. De Gea in goal, Trent, Cancelo, Ben Johnson, the mighty Ben Johnson.
Mighty Johnson.
Son, Foden, Jota. I'll be bringing Bowen in for Smith Rowe and captaining him, I think. And then Ronaldo, Antonio and King up front. Means I could take a -4 to get rid of Reece James as well, because I don't think Cancelo's going to play. And if I took Reece James, that would be for Reguilon.
Interesting.
The trouble is, if I don't take Reece James out and Cancelo doesn't play, I've got Livramento and Reece James on the bench, so I'll be down to 10. So it almost feels like the -4's worth it, just to make sure that I've got someone. We'll see. But yeah, that's my team. I'm pretty set on the Bowen captain though. I think I'm going to do that. It'll be him or Son. That's gonna.
I really wanted to captain Son as well this week.
Yeah, no, me too.
I'm a bit annoyed about the double game week for that very reason, because I was quite looking forward to Son captain.
Yeah, I can't work out if he's like a really good differential to still captain Son whenever people are going to go to West Ham, or whether...
Yeah.
It's a double game week though, isn't it? I just love double game weeks. I can't resist them.
Stressful though. I find them stressful. Double game weeks stress me out, particularly double game weeks like this when there's FA Cup matches in the middle. Stressful.
Yeah. Okay, final super chat, and that's from Luke C. Hi, Luke C. Says, we missed you. Hang on a second, Luke. We're getting there. Would you bench Saka versus Man City? It's a difficult question.
Who would you play instead?
Yeah, I need to know the rest of your team. You need to know who you'd bench ahead of him. Saka's probably the only one that I'd kind of feel comfortable playing. I think against Man City, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Lacazette, all these guys, I don't know what their role is going to be, but I think Saka is proven himself over the last few weeks to be a kind of reliable asset. So I think I wouldn't want to bench him. I think he can get something out of this game, given how good Arsenal have been. But if I've got better players, then I would. Tricky one.
Yeah. I think I probably would bench him, but it depends on who you've got. Like, I think he is benchable. I think that's probably what I'd say. He's benchable this week, but it depends on who you would be playing in his place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's not really much more we can do that. If you want to stick your bench in, we can answer it in the next couple of seconds. John Cahill, final one then. Takure. Any love for Takure? Good start to the season.
Yeah, it's cheap enough. I think I'd rather go Gray. But don't really know why. But yeah, Decore seems fine.
Great insight there, Sam.
Seems fine. I mean, they're just not inspiring, are they? They're not inspiring. But
it's very hard. It's very hard to do a stream like this and be like, yeah, we should all grab Everton assets and grab Coleman and Keane and Decore and all this, because you're gonna be stuck with them. That's the problem. I think if I was gonna be stuck with an Everton asset, it would probably have to be either Calvert-Lewin or Gray.
Calvert-Lewin or Gray. Yeah, that's how I feel. Decore might be a great differential for this week. However, longer term, I'd rather hold Gray than him.
Yeah, absolutely. Delia just agrees with me. If Arsenal scored tomorrow, it'd be from Saka. That's my feeling on it. I think he's the one that's most likely to get something out of this City game. If there's anyone else, I'd say easy bench. If you got Saka, I think he's the gem. Okay, final one then from Nuclear Atoms, who says Happy New Year to the Fantasy Football Scout team. Especially Sam for getting me ready in pre-season, and as for making me a mod. Yeah, you're a great mod, Nuclear, I have to say. I like it when you get a bit carried away and just start banning everyone left, right, and centre. That's always what I enjoy watching these. But no, yeah, that's it from us. Thank you everyone for watching these streams as always. The numbers are up massively, so I think we used to go over to Scout and ask for kind of pre-planned questions and talk about them. I think being a bit more interactive with the chat has been really good and really nice to see so many people you here.
It's good fun as well.
It is good fun. Yeah, I look forward to these ones, and a good way to wind down before New Year. Big plans tonight?
Going out for dinner.
Oh, nice.
Taking the kids out, bring them home, put them to bed, and then sit and tinker around with my fantasy team. That's probably how my New Year's Eve is going to pan out. Don't
do anything stupid like, take a -12 or something. I know what you're like after a few vinos.
Right, now what are you saying? Because I'm never badly behaved. I'm always on my best behaviour.
Yeah, New Year's though. Never know.
Well, being the sensible mother that I am, I'll just be at home, so probably having a cup of tea.
when I see a minus,
what the hell Sam done tomorrow? Why has she got all these Everton players in her team? Why is she taking a -12 for Coleman and Gray?
Got Gray in, got out, got him back in and out again. Amazing.
Carnage.
Right. Well, have a great time. Happy New Year, everyone. And this is the last stream of 2021. So we'll be back next year. We're always weird saying that. But yeah, thanks everyone, and we'll see you soon.